Welcome to the Daily Market Commentary with me, Jan Muta, Chief Market Analyst for TIOmarkets. And please let me remind you that we do not provide investment advice. So all the views expressed in this presentation are our opinions only and are made available purely for educational and marketing purposes and do not constitute investment advice. Take a screenshot of this, read it on your own time, and only continue watching the video if you agree with the disclaimer. Thank you. Let me briefly show you what I was focusing on yesterday. Couple of markets which have now acted exactly the way I suggested. There's a big likelihood they will act, so let me just bring up the charts. So first of all, I was talking about USD Swiss, referring to the fact that it was trading close to the resistance levels, previous resistances, 50-day moving average and the channel high. And I was suggesting there's increased likelihood the market will move lower, and let's see where we are at the moment. So this is what happened. The market started to selling off the pair, and then it's moving lower. As you know, this is a highly negatively correlated with Euro USD, so there's a big likelihood that if Euro moves higher, this market moves down. Then another market, let me show you. Another market that I was focusing on was the USDCAD. Market was had broken out of the channel, but had run into a resistance. It basically was trading near resistance and reacting lower. So I suggested it's very likely to move down somewhere down here, and then the buyers will step in. So let's see what happened there with this market. I'm going to show you the chart. So exactly as I suggested, the market came down something like 70-80 pips or so, and now the buyers are stepping in. And let's see, it's a fairly classical setup in technical analysis, and we should be seeing market moving higher from here. Obviously, I can't promise anything, and we always just keep on following what the price action does. So you never have to assume, you never have to do something that you are not sure of. Obviously, there isn't something like 100% certainty in the markets, never. But there is something that is called probabilities. And if you come to my webinars and if you learn the right things, what you need to look at, what you need to focus on, you can have fairly good certainty, fairly good. You can sort of estimate the probabilities and say that there's a pretty good probability the market will move higher from here, and that's your edge. So if you're struggling with trading, come to my webinars, watch these videos, and they will help you. If you think this kind of analysis that I'm focusing on here, I'm giving you ideas, and then you can see if they fit into what you understand about markets. But if you see this happening over and over again, that I give you a level and then the market moves from the level to the next level, and it seems to be yet again reacting positively, I think you should do me a little favor and share this link with your friends. I'm doing this. TIOmarkets helps me to do this, and they are wonderful in that sense, and I just look forward to help you and also your friends. I'm sure they appreciate the fact that you point them in the right direction. So thank you for that in advance. Let's move on and see what's happening with the daily news today. So the big news today is obviously the ECB rate decision, but there was an important rate decision yesterday also. We basically had the BOC, the Bank of Canada, leaving the rates unchanged, and they also left the rather aggressive 5 billion a week QE program unchanged. But something did change, and this is important. They said that, they actually, to be correct, they dropped out a mention of more stimulus if needed from their policy document. So that's important, and that's why we probably saw, this is one of the reasons why we saw my trade idea being successful yesterday, market moving lower, USDCAD moving lower to the support. And now, let's move on. Today we have ECB rate decision. Nobody expects to see any changes in rates, but we expect to see some Euro USD talk down, attempts to talk Euro USD down. That is to say, I basically believe that there's not much that ECB is ready to do or can do at the moment, but they can certainly try to imply that in the future they will do more if Euro USD keeps on appreciating and moving higher. Crude oil supply oversupply continues. We have crude and diesel at the moment stored in tankers because there's more supply than demand. And to get more info this, please follow the US crude inventories that are out today, later in the evening European time. And then next week we should have OPEC Plus meeting taking place on Thursday. So that's going to be exciting and interesting as well. And later on today, we will have also the US PPI numbers and unemployment claims. And tomorrow, the ever so important inflation CPI, core CPI data release. So be ready to trade that tomorrow also. So let's take a look at the charts where the markets are now trading. The ECB monetary policy statement is coming soon, and then the ever so important press conference, and we have to be ready to trade those and know what to look for, where the key levels are, etc. Let me bring up the charts. Euro USD moved down to this ever so important support area. We've been referring to this so many times before in the recent analysis, which we've been saying it's a key level, and at the same time we have this channel low, rising trend line trend line support coming up here. So the combination of those things were enough to move the euro higher yesterday against the dollar, and this actually impacted quite a few currencies also. Now we're struggling with the sort of yesterday's high, trying to get above it. Let's see if the market can move above it before the ECB comes out. And obviously, this is one of the key levels still. And then the other key levels that we should be aware of are here. It's rather high. This high here earlier prevented the market, or it was, let me put it this way, the market rallied above, couldn't find demand there, and then rolled over. So somewhere up here, I think, is a reasonable resistance area to sort of focus on if the market reacts favorably to whatever ECB has to say, and trend moves and trend continues. So obviously, whenever you have a trend in place, it's more likely that the trend will continue until the trend isn't in force anymore. Okay, and here's the impact on cable, pound USD, found buyers. Also, at the time, Euro USD touched the support. Obviously, they are highly correlated, both being major dollar pairs. Now, yesterday, cable started to approach this rising trend line, and that wasn't too far away from this historical support here, and the price created around the sort of 50-day moving average. It created a bullish reversal candle, so I'm expecting to see a potential move higher from here, but obviously a lot of quite a few things depend on what's going to happen with the Brexit news, what's going to happen with the ECB today, and Euro USD reaction to it as well. But there is an attempt to take this market higher, so it's worth keeping an eye on this market. And if there's more price action supporting this indication, then obviously we'll be looking for long or buy signals in this market. And here's yet another success story we have from yesterday. I was talking about this. I was referring to this exciting opportunity as the market was trading close to support, and I was saying it's highly unlikely that the market would move lower anymore because the support is so close. And I was suggesting there might be a move higher to the next resistance, which was here at 125. 125, 34, 32, 30 area roughly, 125.30. And now the market is pushing a little higher from that level, but that served as a great target number one for this move higher. Let's see what else there was. I think I mentioned Euro Aussie yesterday, so let me take you there. And Euro Aussie was... With this market, I was referring to the fact that it had been making higher lows, and I was saying that the market, I think it was trading somewhere here at the time around my analysis, and I was saying that, okay, the market is coming down now, but I expect buyers will emerge above this level here, and so they did, and now we have the market moving higher. So let's see where the market might be going. If we think there's a sort of a channel going on here, and we have a resistance up there, so it's quite likely that the market would move closer to the recent highs, maybe even further to this rising channel. So what's going on here is market is finding support, creating higher lows, so it's really looking good. And again, if you find this useful, go now to your browser, copy the URL, copy the link to your friends in social media, and let them know there's some really good stuff available from TIOmarkets. And then in the future, I would also love if you would come to my webinars where I show you strategies and techniques, how to manage the risk, how to catch these moves, and then you have a better understanding on how to benefit from my analysis. Another market I was referring to yesterday is VIX. VIX is always known as the fear index of the stock markets. And without going to the details about how this index works, I'm just going to give you a brief idea. If the market is weak, if the market is fearful, the stock market that is, this is likely to move higher. If VIX moves lower, that means that the buyers are emerging in, and they are basically taking their sort of hedges off. They are not worried about the market anymore that much, and S&P is likely to move higher. I was pointing to this lower high yesterday, suggesting that there is an indication here that now the correction might be over. And if we go to S&P 500, here you can see that we had an up day yesterday. I was in yesterday's analysis pointing to this 50% retracement level here, 50% retracement that coincided with historical support level here, and the 50-day moving average. So these things coming together with VIX suggested to me that now might be the time that the stock market that is ready to move higher. So I'm looking at this and thinking, yes, this looks very promising. Now we just have to see some follow through buying. If we see certain things developing in intraday charts, that gives us the confidence to look for more buy signals. Now, if you come to my webinars, again, I will teach what to look for in the intraday charts too. So, and I think that I'm going to go show you one more chart. It's a market I've covered lately in analysis. Let me just bring up the chart. and that is Tesla. I was writing about Tesla a couple of days ago, and then it had closed, gapped down really hard, and it had moved down to this support area, and every support area is just a potential area until the market turns. And now it seems that yes, the market agreed with my idea that we had several things coming together here. We had the 50-day moving average, the channel low, the historical sort of previous resistance, now likely to be a support. And the buyers came in. So yet another interesting development there, another market that we got right. So yeah, I wish that you enjoy these videos, and I look forward to a lot more videos and webinars with you. So if you like the videos, give us thumbs up in YouTube, and let me know if you have some feedback you'd like to tell me. Until next time, trade safe and see you soon.